So this video tutorial will attempt in different sections to take you through the database practical assessment or an example of one, and hopefully if you can practice this enough and understand it and be sure with it and be happy with it, that will stand you in good stead for the real exam. So you're going to prepare some reports for the company. Make sure all currency values in euros to 2 decimal places. The data sold field must be in the format date, month and year. Using a suitable database package, import the file j12motors.csv. So you know it's a database package. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing start, all programs, core applications, and database is always going to be Microsoft Access. So we're going to create a new database like so. Every time you go in there, it'll actually create a table for you. We're going to import some information, so we don't need a table. We can close that down using the X there. So we need to get some external data, and the external data is in the form of j12motors.csv. We need to find that. Now that's going to be somewhere where you can find on the day itself, on the practical assessment. When we go to external data, we're looking to import. So strangely, it's a text file that you'd probably be importing, or you should look for text file anyway. If you can't find it, then you can try Excel. But I know from experience on this one that it'll find it if you do text. So school shed area, this is where the file is. I'm going to go and find it now, and then we're going to work through it. Key stage 4 IGCSE, and here it is, 27th practical, and it's J12 motors. Just going to check that. There it is. So I'm going to put this in, and it says import the source data into a new table. That's what I want to do. That's fine. This is characters such as comma or tab separate each field. So these are the fields separated by collars and tabs, so I'm happy with that. And then it says select the appropriate delimiter and see how your text is affected by the preview below. Don't worry too much, but the first thing you think about is, are there any field names here? Does the first row contain the field name? Well, it does for this, because color is there, price is there. So I'm going to use that. First row contains field names. You need to be looking out for this in the exam itself. Do you need to click that or not? In this case you do. Hopefully you will in the exam as well. It's probably one of them things you will have to do. And then it asks you whether you want to change the data types for any of these things. Now it tells you that the data types need to be these, okay, and also that you need to have currency values in euros, and the data sold field must be in the format this. So you could choose to do this at this point, but actually, you know what, it's complicated. It doesn't always work in my experience, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to do it within the database package itself. It also says, would you like us to add a primary key? Now in the exam it might say let Access choose it for you, or it might give you some information such as this. Make sure that all the field names, use the field names. The VIN is the vehicle identification number, and each car will have a different VIN. That tells you that's the primary key. So you really want to choose my own primary key, which is the VIN there. So you need to be looking out in the exam itself. You need to be looking and seeing if there's anything else in here that you need to be aware of. Okay. Where it says save a screenshot showing the field names and data types used, you can probably say, right, well, I need to read down to this point, because it's telling me everything in here I need to screenshot. Okay, so I need to be down to here before I can start thinking about any other tasks. Okay, so here we go. I've got the primary key. I'm going to go to next. It's going to give her a name, which I'm happy with, and it's going to import it in. This is on about do I need to save the import steps just in case I want to do it again? Not really. Close it down. Gives us our table here, which is great. If we open that table, you can see the information. What you can see on the right hand side here, you can peruse the information, make sure it's all correct. What you can see is the date there. Let's have a quick look. The date needs to be ... So let's just see if it is. Yeah, that's fine. The price should be in euros. Well, it's not, so we need to hopefully we might have to do something about that. And also the other thing that's disturbing me at the moment is the fact that the sold, if you have a look at the data here, the sold here has got no. So presumably they're looking for no and yes, Boolean yes and no. And at the moment I've got this -1, that's not good. So I need to sort that out. Okay, so if I go to home, I then can go to the design view of this table. and here we go. So I've got this as wrong. The sold as number, and what it's asking for is Boolean logical. So let's try and go back and see what we can do. So Boolean logical, yes or no, there it is, brilliant. Okay, so I can do that, and then the format tries to fool me as well, because it's saying actually true or false as the yes or no. Well, I don't want that, so I want yes or no here. Okay, so that's fine. And then update format everywhere sold is used. Okay, let's do that. Fine. If we go to view, you must save the table first. Yes, let's try and do that. It says you've changed one of the things. Okay, I know I've changed that there. So let's try and continue anyway and see what happens. Okay, so that's still there. So possibly I think I need to do something else. So let's have a look what else I can do. So we've got yes and no there. You've got yes and no there. Let's go to lookup. Right, it says checkbox. So that checkbox is why it's given us that checkbox basically. So if I change that to text, hopefully, if I now go back to view and yes, okay, so there you go, there's yes and no. Okay, so all these things sent to try you and just try to annoy you and make your life slightly harder, but all it's doing is checking that you've got your skills up. Okay, so there we go, that's that bit there. So the only thing I've got left then, I think, is the price. So at the moment it's looking like that. Let's have a quick look at what it needs to look at. So the price is numeric and currency. So let's have a look where it is at the moment. Design view. And the price is number. Okay, so I need currency in there pretty much. So let's go to currency. And remember it asked for euros, so we need it in euro. Okay, cool. And then we can go back to view and it'll ask us to save us again. And oh, that's dollars, that's pounds. Why have I done that? So design, let's try it again. Price, currency, format in euro. I thought I chose euro. Okay, view. Yeah, there you go, there's it in euro. So that's brilliant. I've got all my things that I want to do. It says save a screenshot showing the field names and data types used. Place a copy of the screenshot in your evidence folder. So when it asks for that, what it's asking for is that bit there. Okay, so print screen that, basically showing everything, and then you would put that in your evidence folder. Okay, great.